that dangerous permission mode I showed you in the last lecture clearly has some potential problems. You don't want to erase your hard drive. That's why there also is a safer way of running Claude in that mode. At least if you have Docker installed. Because if you do have Docker installed and up and running on your system, you can use Docker's Sandbox feature, which is relatively new, which allows you to run things, tools, in an isolated sandbox that's set up on the fly on your system by Docker. And you can specifically use Docker's Sandbox run Claude to run Claude code in this project in a sandbox. And what this will do is it will now set up a Docker sandbox, wrap your local project you're working on in that sandbox, and use Claude code in that sandbox to then start it in there. And it will by default start it in this dangerous skip permissions mode, because in that sandbox, Claude code can't touch your computer, your system. Even if it wrote a script that erased the hard drive, it wouldn't be able to go out of that sandbox. It would be limited to this project. And that, of course, is therefore a safer way of running it. Sure, it can still do weird stuff to your Git history and all that, so that's something to be aware of, but it can't touch your overall machine. So when running this, I have to go through that setup again and connect again, because it is a brand new system in the end for Claude code in which it's now running. And as you see, it by default runs in this bypass permission mode in that sandbox. So I can again ask it for changes and then to commit those changes, and it will still be able to do that. It's still able to work on this project here and to edit the files in this project, but even theoretically, it won't be able to do anything outside of this project. And you can therefore use Claude in the Docker sandbox just as you can use it outside of it. It's just a bit securer when using this dangerous permission mode here. You can also use all those Claude CLI flags I showed you before and you find in the official documentation like -C or -P.